You're about to see why owning the wrong pickup could cost you more than your mortgage.
Plenty of businesses battered during the coronavirus. One you might not know about, though, that's thriving, the market for used pickup trucks, and that's a story that filled the boat.
Sales are crumbling, resale values are tanking, and yet the ads keep shouting about rugged strength. But the truth is darker. These trucks aren't just underperforming. They're silently draining their owners in ways nobody warned them about. What happens when the truck you buy loses half its value overnight? Why are owners suddenly drowning in repair bills? And what's coming next for buyers who don't see the shift? Chevrolet Colorado. Among the mid-size trucks that once carried a loyal following, the Chevrolet Colorado has stumbled into territory where fewer and fewer buyers want to travel. Once hailed as a practical alternative to massive full-size pickups, the Colorado's reputation has been fading fast. Even with an updated redesign, this truck has been criticized for rough interior finishes, electronic glitches, and driving manners that fail to inspire confidence. Shoppers quickly notice that the promised toughness does not quite live up to the advertisements splashed across billboards and glossy commercials. The heart of the problem lies in value. Competitors such as the Toyota Tacoma, the Ford Ranger, and the Jeep Gladiator offer more engaging performance, higher predicted reliability, and stronger resale values. The Colorado, meanwhile, suffers heavy depreciation, with auction figures showing owners losing tens of thousands within just a few short years. Repair frequency reports highlight concerns with transmissions and engine sensors, often leading to expensive shop visits. Buyers hoping for a dependable workhorse often find themselves saddled with frustration instead of confidence. So as the Chevrolet Colorado slides further down the sales charts, the writing on the wall is clear. If you think this fall from grace is alarming, wait until you see the next truck, which proves that holding on to the past can destroy a brand's future. Nissan Frontier. Step back for a moment and consider a truck that feels like it has been trapped in a time capsule, and you will find the Nissan Frontier. For years, this mid-size pickup has lagged behind its rivals, holding on to outdated design choices that should have been retired long ago. The Frontier remained nearly unchanged for more than 1.5 decades, a stretch that made buyers wonder if Nissan forgot about it entirely. When the eventual redesign finally appeared, expectations were sky-high, yet reality came crashing down. Critics pointed out that the improvements were modest at best, and sales figures never reached the momentum Nissan once hoped for. Under the hood, the Frontier delivers numbers that look acceptable on paper, yet the real-world experience leaves drivers wanting more. Ride comfort is stiff, interior space feels cramped, and fuel efficiency sits far below class leaders. Buyers seeking value often discover that alternatives, such as the Toyota Tacoma or Ford Ranger, deliver superior performance and stronger long-term dependability. Depreciation also strikes hard, with resale percentages tumbling far quicker than expected. As Nissan struggles to keep this mid-size player relevant, the message is unmistakable. If clinging to nostalgia can cripple a pickup, just wait until the next truck shows how copying luxury style without substance can be even more disastrous. Ram 1500. Classic. Look closely at dealership lots across America, and you will notice a familiar sight still clinging to relevance: the Ram 1500 Classic. At first glance, it might appear to be a bargain compared to newer full-size pickups, but seasoned buyers quickly recognize that this so-called deal hides a mountain of compromises. The Classic is essentially the previous generation Ram 1500 kept alive as a budget option, stripped of modern updates yet still marketed as if it belongs in the same league as cutting-edge rivals. The design traces back to the early 2010s, and while Ram has improved its newer models with advanced suspension systems, updated infotainment screens, and far better safety technology, the Classic soldiers on like an aging veteran who refuses to retire. Consumers report that interior plastics feel cheap, fuel economy lags behind modern competitors, and crash test performance does not inspire confidence. Even with heavy incentives, depreciation eats away at any initial savings, leaving owners with disappointing resale values after only a few short years. The Ram 1500 Classic proves that cheap does not always mean smart. If this outdated throwback feels concerning, the next truck demonstrates that reviving a beloved nameplate without proper execution can deliver an even harsher blow. If you're enjoying this breakdown of the worst-selling pickups, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Share which truck disappointed you most. I want your story. Ford Ranger. When conversations turn to legendary compact and mid-size pickups, the Ford Ranger often earns a mention. Yet its modern revival has left many truck enthusiasts shaking their heads. After disappearing from American showrooms in the year 2011, the Ranger returned in the year 2019 with promises of rugged performance and everyday practicality. However, the final product failed to live up to the hype. Buyers expecting a return of the scrappy workhorse from the 1990s instead discovered a truck that felt cramped inside, carried a price tag higher than expected, and lacked the refinement of rivals. Performance numbers may sound competitive, but the driving experience tells a different story. Road manners are stiff, the interior feels narrow for families, and technology features are clunky compared to the latest systems from General Motors or Toyota. Reliability surveys highlight concerns with transmissions and turbocharged components, leaving owners uneasy about long-term dependability. Resale values also trail behind class leaders, meaning the Ranger loses money faster than many buyers anticipated. The Ranger's reputation proves that not every comeback is worth celebrating. And while Ford may have missed the mark with this mid-size misstep, the next truck shows that carrying a so-called professional grade badge can still lead directly to mediocrity. GMC Canyon. Among the trucks that proudly wear the phrase professional grade, the GMC Canyon often struggles to prove it deserves the label. This midsize pickup is marketed as the more refined sibling of the Chevrolet Colorado, yet the sales charts reveal that many shoppers simply are not convinced. Buyers expecting premium quality discover that the Canyon shares nearly every mechanical component with the Colorado, but with a noticeably higher price tag. The end result is a vehicle that feels like a recycled design disguised as an upscale choice. Step inside the cabin, and disappointment often follows. Materials feel basic, rather than luxurious. Infotainment technology lags behind what competitors offer, and ride quality leaves much to be desired on long highway drives. Reliability reports raise concerns about transmission performance and electrical system glitches, which can lead to costly repair visits. Even worse, resale values collapse quickly, with 3-year-old examples retaining far less than rivals, such as the Toyota Tacoma. Depreciation drains owners' wallets despite the Canyon's claim of being an elevated product. The Canyon illustrates how a badge alone cannot carry a vehicle's reputation. If this so-called premium mid-size truck feels like a letdown, the next entry proves that attempting to challenge the titans of the full-size market can end in complete defeat. Nissan Titan. Cast your eyes on the full-size pickup battlefield, and one truck consistently falls behind the heavy hitters, the Nissan Titan. When it first arrived in the early 2004 era, Nissan boldly claimed it could stand toe-to-toe with icons like the Ford F-150, the Chevrolet Silverado, and the Ram 1500. Yet reality has been much harsher. The Titan has never truly found its footing in the American market, and today its sales numbers are barely a fraction of what competitors achieve every single quarter. The Titan offers a powerful V8 engine, but sheer horsepower is not enough to overcome glaring weaknesses. Towing capacity fails to match Detroit rivals. Interior refinement lags far behind modern expectations, and safety technology trails the standards set by domestic leaders. Depreciation has also crushed owner confidence, with resale percentages falling steeply within only 3 years of ownership. To make matters worse, Nissan itself has announced that production of the Titan will be discontinued, signaling that even the company no longer believes in the truck's future. The Titan's downfall shows that brute force alone cannot secure market dominance, and if Nissan's miscalculation feels dramatic, the next truck proves that crossing into suburban crossover territory can be equally disastrous. Honda Ridgeline. For anyone searching the truck market and expecting rugged grit, the Honda Ridgeline often feels like an imposter in pickup clothing. Instead of delivering a traditional body-on-frame design like every serious competitor, the Ridgeline uses a unibody platform borrowed from Honda's family crossovers. That decision may create smoother ride comfort, but it robs the truck of toughness, utility, and credibility among buyers who demand muscle. From the moment it launched in the mid-2000 decade, traditional truck enthusiasts dismissed it as little more than a minivan with a cargo bed. Numbers on paper look fine, yet real-world capability tells another story. Maximum towing capacity falls well short of competitors, payload ratings are modest, and off-road performance is uninspiring. Even the bed size is undersized. leaving owners frustrated when carrying gear that a Toyota Tacoma or Ford Ranger handles with ease. While reliability has been decent, resale values reveal the truth. Depreciation bites quickly when a vehicle fails to earn respect from truck loyalists. The Ridgeline's identity crisis makes it a tough sell, particularly when alternatives deliver authentic truck character for similar money. The Ridgeline shows how comfort without capability leaves buyers cold. If Honda's gamble looks misguided, the next truck reveals how reviving a once beloved midsize nameplate can collapse under its own half-baked execution. Ram Dakota. Every so often, an automaker attempts to resurrect a name from the past, hoping nostalgia will outweigh shortcomings, and the Ram Dakota stands as a prime example of how that strategy can misfire. Once known as a capable midsize option under the Dodge banner in the 1980s, 1990s, and early 2000 years, the Dakota slowly faded away after sales collapsed. When talk of a revival began, truck fans initially felt a spark of excitement, remembering the original model's balance of utility and affordability. Yet when Ram flirted with concepts and rumors of a comeback, the reality never matched the expectations. Instead of delivering a clear competitor to the Toyota Tacoma or Ford Ranger, the attempted Dakota revival never left the drawing board in a convincing way. Industry insiders noted that the concept versions lacked distinctive features, offered no dramatic capability edge, and risked cannibalizing sales from Ram's own 150 lineup. Buyers seeking clarity were left with confusion as production schedules shifted and promises fizzled. The end result was a nameplate that once carried pride, now remembered as a missed opportunity. The Dakota's story proves that nostalgia cannot replace execution, and if this half-hearted revival feels frustrating, the next truck demonstrates how a once promising full-size contender can vanish completely under the weight of poor demand. Toyota Tundra. Within the arena of full-size pickups, the Toyota Tundra's older generation became a textbook example of how neglecting updates can doom even a respected brand. Introduced in the mid-2000 decade and carrying on with only minor revisions for more than a dozen years, the previous generation Tundra grew stale, while rivals from Ford, Chevrolet, and Ram advanced with modern technology, efficiency gains, and luxury features. Shoppers who once admired Toyota's reputation for dependability eventually turned away, realizing the Tundra no longer kept pace with evolving standards. The outdated V8 engines offered reliability, but consumed fuel at rates that felt painful compared to the turbocharged and hybrid options appearing elsewhere. Safety technology remained years behind, interior styling looked dated, and towing numbers failed to climb high enough to compete with Detroit's heavy hitters. Depreciation also punished owners harder than many expected, since resale values shrank as buyers recognized the model's shortcomings. Even loyal Toyota customers admitted the truck felt more like a relic than a real rival. The story of the previous generation Tundra highlights how standing still in a rapidly changing market can drain momentum. If Toyota's stagnation feels like a cautionary tale, the next truck proves that crossing lines between workhorse tradition and luxury ambition can sink even faster. Hyundai Santa Cruz. In a market hungry for practical and rugged pickups, the Hyundai Santa Cruz entered with plenty of buzz, yet quickly revealed why it struggles to win over serious truck buyers. Launched in the year 2021, it was Hyundai's first real attempt to break into the pickup scene. Instead of building a traditional body-on-frame machine, the company created a unibody truck based on its crossover platform. That decision gave it smoother road manners but immediately stripped away the toughness buyers expect from even the smallest of pickups. The Santa Cruz feels more like an oversized hatchback with a bed than a hard-working truck. Capability figures underline the problem. Towing capacity trails far behind competitors. Payload ratings are modest, and the bed is one of the shortest in the entire segment. Even the styling, bold and quirky by design, has divided opinions, with many buyers finding it flashy rather than functional. While it offers decent technology and comfortable seating, depreciation is harsh, and resale values already show steep declines compared to the popular Ford Maverick. The Santa Cruz demonstrates that half measures rarely succeed in a demanding segment. If Hyundai's soft experiment looks questionable, the following entry proves that chasing luxury status without genuine substance can crash even harder. Lincoln Blackwood. Among the most infamous pickup missteps in American automotive history, the Lincoln Blackwood stands tall as a lesson in what not to build. Launched in the year 2001, the Blackwood was marketed as a luxury pickup designed to merge the comfort of a limousine with the utility of a truck. Yet the final product satisfied neither audience. Built on the bones of the Ford F-150, it carried a unique leather-lined bed covered with a permanent tonneau and stainless steel trim that made hauling nearly impossible. Truck buyers ridiculed it for being impractical, while luxury customers balked at paying premium money for a vehicle that still felt like a workhorse underneath. Sales never gained traction. In fact, total production barely reached the low thousands, making it one of the shortest-lived experiments in modern memory. Reliability was not the Blackwood's strongest trait either, as electrical gremlins and trim issues eroded owner confidence. Depreciation crushed values almost immediately, and dealerships found themselves stuck with inventory they could not move. The Lincoln Blackwood proves that combining flash with zero functionality ends in disaster. If this failed luxury pickup feels like an embarrassment, the next entry shows how even Cadillac's prestige could not escape a similar fate. Cadillac Escalade EXT. When Cadillac unveiled the Escalade EXT in the early 2000 decade, the company envisioned a luxury truck that would dominate both country clubs and construction sites. Instead, it quickly became clear that the Escalade EXT was little more than a rebadged Chevrolet Avalanche draped in chrome and leather. While it carried the bold Escalade styling and an upscale cabin filled with plush seats and flashy gadgets, the truck portion lagged badly. Its short bed-limited real hauling capacity and its towing ability failed to impress when compared to serious, full-size rivals. Buyers willing to spend premium money soon realized that they were paying extra for image rather than true capability. Sales numbers trickled downward year after year until the model's discontinuation in the year 2013. Reliability concerns with electronics and air suspension components added to owner frustration, and depreciation devastated resale values within only a few short years of ownership. For a vehicle marketed as an elite statement piece, it instead became a symbol of poor judgment. The Cadillac Escalade EXT illustrates that luxury branding cannot transform a compromised design into success. If Cadillac's flashy misfire felt misguided, the upcoming #1 pickup proves that even the promise of rugged adventure can collapse when paired with sky-high prices and nagging reliability woes. We're almost at the #1 spot, so before the big reveal, smash that subscribe button. Stay connected for future lists exposing trucks and cars the dealers hope you miss. Jeep Gladiator. At the very top of the list of poorly performing pickups sits the Jeep Gladiator, a vehicle that stormed onto the scene in the year 2019 with promises of rugged adventure and unmatched off-road capability. Built on the bones of the legendary Jeep Wrangler, the Gladiator combined removable doors, an open-air roof, and trail-rated badges with a small pickup bed. On paper, it sounded like the dream truck for outdoor enthusiasts who wanted both utility and freedom. Yet reality struck quickly, as buyers discovered compromises that turned excitement into disappointment. The Gladiator carries a steep sticker price, often several thousands more than mid-size competitors, and its towing and hauling ratings lag behind trucks that cost far less. Reliability reports have flagged issues with transmissions, electronics, and steering components, echoing long-standing concerns with the Wrangler lineage. Interior space feels cramped for families. Fuel economy leaves much to be desired, and depreciation erodes values faster than expected. Many owners realized they had essentially paid luxury money for Wrangler problems with a bed attached. The Jeep Gladiator proves that hype cannot carry a truck indefinitely, and as this countdown closes, the lesson is simple. Buyers who demand lasting value must look beyond flashy marketing and focus on proven capability. And there you have it, the trucks every smart buyer should avoid at all costs. If you made it this far, you're already ahead of the crowd. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment sharing your truck experiences, hit like if this list opened your eyes, and make sure to subscribe for more brutally honest breakdowns. Together, we'll keep exposing the truth, so your next vehicle is a decision you'll never regret.